focusing a bit in Europe, but more on the eastern side. So we will be traveling to Albania. So it will be presented by Arjun Imeri, who is the Executive Director of Officina Innovation Hub. Hello, Arjun. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Catherine. Hi, everyone, and thank you for having me here. I've really enjoyed the previous presentations, and I feel a little bit conscious now to present after Barcelona, Berlin, and Antwerp, and because you can see the how well they're working and how their ecosystems are developed. But I will do my best to present our case, and it's a positive case. It's a case that is growing, and we're hoping to see similar development in our ecosystem, of course, in the near future. Just to double check, you can see my screen in full.
Yes, I can see it.
Good. Guys, so my name is Arjen Imeri, and I'm the Executive Director of Officina. Officina is an incubator / accelerator based in Tirana. We've been operating since 2016. We have three main working tracks. One is, of course, startup development. Another one is ecosystem development. So we do a lot of work with stakeholders, international institutions, but also private sector. And we also work towards policy development for our ecosystem. Now, we'd like to call Albania as an upward moving startup country. And there is many reasons for this, which I'll explain throughout this presentation. First, just to give you some inputs on where Albania is for those who are new to this region. We're based in Southeast Europe. Albania has around 2.9 million inhabitants. Our national GDP is 14.3 billion euros, and our current unemployment rate, it's a very low 11.5% when it's compared to other countries in our region. We have one of the highest foreign direct investments levels in the Western Balkan region, and this is figures from 2020-2021. And we're situated around 2 hours away from any European capital. As Albanian, of course, it's a relatively small country. We bring a lot of culture to Europe, or at least we'd like to think so. We have 4 UNESCO sites. We have one of the oldest Europe lake in Lake Ohrid. We have a Nobel Prize winner. But when it comes to technology, we started a little bit in an unorthodox way. Around 20 years ago, we started taxing traffic lights. The only problem we had is we hadn't implemented any of these in most of the cities. So this was our first attempt to building a technology ecosystem, and as you may figure out, this wasn't very successful. However, we have made a lot of progress. Of course, in the center of our ecosystem is our capital, Tirana, which we'd like to present as our next startup city. Tirana is around 1 million inhabitants. It has developed in the last 15 years to a growing metropole. We are currently European Youth Capital. We have, from the ecosystem perspective, we have over 16 universities. We have 3,000 tech students joining the market every year. We have the youngest population in Europe. Almost 70% of our workforce, so employees, are between 25 to 29 years of age. And apart from these universities, we have a lot of, let's say, professional schools who are improving the pipeline of individuals that like to join, not just join multinationals and work for them, but also slowly starting to build their own companies and develop skills, the business skills, which have been missing from not just from our city, but also from the region. In terms of what we offer to startups. In Albania, you'll find a lot of things, but most importantly, you'll find services from co-working spaces, incubators, accelerators. We have tech talent, which again is slightly raw because Albanian ecosystem is at the beginning of its route, but we're making progress. And when we see not just other reports, but we see today StartupBlink report, slowly, not just Tirana, but Albania is making progress year by year and day by day to build its capacities and capabilities to develop ecosystem, but also to host more startups and eventually more scale-ups. In Tirana, you'll find funding. So this comes in public and private sector. So in public, we have a lot of central government funding, not only if you're an Albanian startup, but also if you're a foreign startup based in Albania. We have the lowest taxation for technology startups in Europe. You pretty much you don't pay any tax, and if you're exporting most of the services, and generally the startups are looking outwards because of course our country is fairly small. And we are focused in providing e-services on everything. So we have a great infrastructure as on e-government levels. Most of the let's say interaction with government is through our portal, the electronic portal. We have lots of let's say services from international organizations, which I'll come back to a little later. But we also have support from at a regional level from a lot of funding from EU institution and also regional institutions and governments. If you are based in Albania, you could potentially be working from here, but also you could be working from here. So I'm going to touch upon this. We're one of the highest growing tourist destination in Europe. We're top 10 in the world in the last 2021 brochure provided by Lonely Planet, and you can see a lot of other opportunities that or reasons why you should visit Albania. Now we know that the innovation is a race, and of course we need to be to be relevant in this competition. So we are slowly moving or building up our capabilities. One thing is or one aspect of our capabilities are the policies. We believe now we have most of the digital agendas looking at infrastructure. We have the cheapest internet rates in Europe. It's widely available, but also let's say on the infrastructure level, we have lots of spaces where you could base your startup, cheap spaces you can rent. And by the end of this year, we will have the largest ICT building in the Western Balkans. Just to present some of the private, let's say, players in our ecosystem, we presently have here Microsoft, we have Deloitte Digital, we have Lufthansa Industries, Cecil, Siemens, and more. One thing, and this is my last slide, I would like to leave you with, Albania has the largest inland oil reserves in Europe. A lot of people do not know this, but also not only we have the largest oil reserves, our energy currently is 95% renewable. And with this slide, I'd like to extend to anyone, whether you're a startup or whether you're an ecosystem builder or a private company, that Albania will have the, let's say, the most diverse energy vertical or energy industry in Europe for the next 10 years. There is lots of space for startups to be building their companies within this energy supply space or supply chain. And of course, if you need more information of this, we're more than willing to provide and help you out. These are my details, but you can always go and visit our website and contact us via LinkedIn and other ways. Thank you again, StartupBlink, and thank you, Catherine and Eli, for the opportunity.
Yes, thank you, Arjun. Thank you for sharing with us about Albania and the amazing efforts that you've been doing